The show opened October 17 in New York. The press and public acclaimed it. But I watched the audiences. For example, they applauded in the middle of a sequence. The geniuses said that when you're selling out and turning people away from the box office, I shouldn't even change the ushers' uniforms. I went back to the coast and spent a couple of $100,000 and fixed it. There's only one genius that I ever recognized, and that's the unconscious geniuses, as I call them, the public. You know, a lot of guys grow up and they want to become president of the United States. With me, I just wanted to grow up and marry Elizabeth Taylor. And I did. As some of you know, I'm married to a girl who's a few years my junior. As a matter of fact, she's a few years my junior's junior.
We traveled all over the world together to promote Around the World in 80 Days. Of course, we couldn't have gone more first class, and we couldn't have had more of a ball. We arrived in Greece in our own plane, and we opened the film, went through all the kind of hoopla and the ceremony of the premiere with the royalty, and it was terribly exciting and very glamorous. And then finally we lost everybody, and we became the typical tourists. And I took home movies of Mike, and he took home movies of me. I was hobbling around in the Acropolis with one heel broken, and Mike was posing me up against goddesses. Then we went to the Greek islands, and we were riding around on donkeys. Well, we have the home movies of it. And they're like everybody else's home movies that are so bad you wouldn't believe them. I mean, you couldn't believe that the man who did Around the World in 80 Days and Cinerama had anything to do with these home movies. But I must say we had fun. Well, you know that Mike spoke no other language but English, and a lot of his English words were his own invention. But it was curious. Wherever he went, no matter what country we went to, he could always make himself understood to people that didn't speak English at all. One of the things about Mike that continually fascinated me was his insatiable sense of curiosity and his interest in things, people, everything. For instance, when we would arrive in a foreign country, after 5 minutes, Mike would know the population of the city, what the main industry was, what the best restaurants in town were, how the political trend was swinging, and how the public was satisfied with the way things were going, so forth and so on, which was a remarkable kind of talent, a genius, really.
Elizabeth says that it's impossible for me to pass a microphone. So can you imagine what it's like to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're really overwhelmed, speaking for both of us almost. I usually do, but we're really overwhelmed. Elizabeth, you say something.
I never have a chance to say anything. I've actually forgotten how to talk. But thank you. It's wonderful to be here.
A few more words. You'll wish you hadn't asked. I promise you.
He's a liar.
I think 80 Days received something like 70 or 80 awards from all over the world. But my heart was really in my throat the night of the Oscars. When it was time for the Best Picture award and they called me up, without thinking, I ran to the platform and I grabbed it. I mean, I grabbed it. I won the 2 biggest prizes you can get, the Academy Award and Elizabeth Taylor. That's not bad for luck. In England, we had a nice crowd for the opening. There was a receiving line. We had royalty. And of course, I got Elizabeth a new party dress. Elizabeth enjoys shopping. It was very extravagant of me, but my greatest pleasure is buying her a little bauble or a picture to hang on the wall.
On March 22nd, 1958, Mike flew back to New York from the coast in his private plane, the Lucky Liz. Elizabeth had a bad case of flu and didn't go with him. The plane was caught in a heavy storm over New Mexico and crashed. For 5 days, his death was headline news all over the world. Mike Todd died as he lived, spectacularly.
His greatest legacy to me was the gift of love. Knowing not only how to give, but how to receive with love.